Good morning, everyone. It's my privilege to welcome you all to the 240th weekly webinar of the Annamalai Alumni Business Network. Over the past 66 months of cooperation, this forum has grown into a vibrant platform that connects entrepreneurs, professionals, and thought leaders across regions and communities. Our mission has always been to empower the entrepreneurial community, and this weekly series has become a cornerstone of that vision. With balanced participation across members, regions, and gender, AABN has demonstrated what inclusivity and innovation can achieve when we come together. Today's session is particularly special as we are joined by one of our own distinguished alumni whose life and work exemplify resilience, integrity, and service. Most people chase success. Very few pause to ask what success truly means. Our guest today, Mr. S. Ramkumar, alumnus of the 1981 batch of Electrical and Electronics Engineering, is one such rare individual who has redefined success through values, conscience, and service. In 1984, a single act of conscience, standing up for mistreated workers, cost him a prestigious corporate job. What followed was 6 months of silence, not as protest, but as hearing. In that stillness, he discovered that values are not abstract ideals, but choices we make under pressure. With no investment, he began his entrepreneurial journey in lifeboat manufacturing, issuing his first bill for just rupees 250. After early setbacks in electronics, he found his stride in electrical maintenance for Bata showrooms, later leading instrumentation for India's first enclosed lifeboat fireplace. He went on to pioneer electrical and data cabling for banks, expanding into turnkey site preparation and interior design for leading corporates. Beyond business, Mr. Ramkumar has mentored entrepreneurs, managers, and professionals at midlife crossroads, not with formula, but with a new way of seeing, blending silence, self-awareness, and systems thinking. He has authored 3 books, delivered over 100 talks, and continues to inspire those who seek not just business success, but a life of integrity. His contributions extend deeply into social service at the Theosophical Society Adayar. He has served as honorary superintendent, director, and general manager, overseeing maintenance, vocational training, and large-scale events. He has trained over 350 individuals in tailoring, electrical, and plumbing skills, enabling successful placements through Unnati. He has also volunteered with Sri Ramakrishna Math and Swami Vivekananda Illam, designing bookshops, building a book bank, and even executing a 3D cinema theatre. As a thought leader, his writings have appeared in Infinity Thoughts magazine, ITA newsletter, and the Theosophist, where he shares insights on spiritual entrepreneurship, ethical decision making, and leading without burnout. Today, he will speak on a theme that resonates with us all: the essence of resilience, handling stress and adversity with awareness. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my honor to invite and warmly welcome our distinguished alumnus, Mr. S. Ramkumar. Over to you, sir.
Thank you so much, Kopi, for your wonderful welcome address. And I'm very happy. If you can mute it. Okay. Can you mute it?
A lot of disturbance, Gopiji. Please mute all. Thank you.
Yeah, don't mute me, please. Okay. Yes. We are going to start the session, The Essence of Resilience. And I'm greatly honored to be speaking about this in front of this August forum. And Gopi and Shanmugam have been doing an awesome job. They made use of the stress during COVID when the physical presence was totally cut down, and then webinar series started. And this is the 240th week of this webinar series, shows how much they are committed to whatever they are doing against their everyday routine. And every Sunday, They could have spent time with their families, but they wanted to ensure that this wisdom of living during for this in this particular theme of sharing of wisdom and knowledge, not just by me, but there are a lot of people who have walked across so many parts in life, including spirituality, psychology, psychiatry, AI, chemical engineering, agriculture. There are so many topics they have touched, and I am really touched by Gopi and Shanmugam, and with the core team also consisting of Sundarrajan, my own classmate of this chemical engineering. The chemical engineers have something to do. They have a lot of chemistry, I think, working between them, which has been made possible to have this program consistently being done. And this is the 240th. I'm so happy to be here for the fourth time. I'm giving a talk, and this talk is the essence of resilience. See, I am not a psychologist. I am not a psychiatrist. I am not a counselor. I am not a doctor. I am just an engineer, an entrepreneur with enormous experience, and I've gone through enormous stress, and I've come out fairly reasonably well in handling stress, reasonably well in handling adversity. I won't put full marks for me in both handling stress or this adversity, but I think I can give myself about 70 marks for handling stress with grace, resilience with grace, adversity with grace. I think I can give myself 70 marks, but a long way to go. So this is what I would like to tell as a start. Stress is the number one killer, but if you check the Google, you will not find stress is the reason for all diseases and the number one killer, because stress is a catalyst, but that affects so many parts of the body, including your gastrointestinal, your heart, your brain, your spleen, your everything it affects. So much so it is the reason for so many psychosomatic diseases. So this is number one killer, stress. I think if you handle stress very well, I think you will make it very well in life. IQ is not enough. EQ is also not so enough. EQ can make you remain there. IQ can take you to the top, but handling adversity and handling stress will make you remain there, and you will make it very, very big in life. Handling adversity quotient and handling stress quotient is the number one winner if you have this IQ and EQ in place. With this, I start today's program. On the 21st, last Sunday evening, I spoke to Gopi, and Gopi gave me this topic, essence of resilience. I asked him if I can talk about handling stress and adversity with awareness. He said, fine, go ahead. And I prepared all the slides. And on the 25th December evening, I was transferring some of the slides from one folder to the other. When I cut it, normally I copy it, I cut it. And then what happened was the whole thing got lost in transit. So I went to the recycle bin, I checked up, it was not there. It was not in the first folder, nor in going to be copied folder. So I totally lost. I took help from one of my neighbors, and she came there, she checked up, and she could not trace it back. And my daughter came, who had come from on a holiday from Singapore, and she also checked. He said, it's lost. Then I again spent another 12 hours because I'm committed to this AABN. So I did this. So I took control of the situation and took this as a challenge. These three C's, that is challenge, control, commitment, control, and challenge. Change is a constant. This change I was able to even administer to myself, so that these three C's of commitment, control, and change I was able to meet, and then I didn't have any kind of a stress. I just accepted things as they are, because
Excuse me.
acceptance is one of the most important things in handling stress. If you accept everything, there is no problem. If you have no attachment, you still absolutely have no problem. These two are the most major things to handle stress and adversity at work or in family or anywhere in social surroundings, everywhere. This handling of these things are very important.
Sir, we are not able to see the screen.
Huh?
Are you sharing the presentation? We are not able to see.
You're not, no, I'm not presenting it so far.
Oh, okay. Okay, thank you.
So again, I think resume share. Able to see now?
Yeah.
Able to see now? Okay, this is my slide, or the first slide. So this handling stress and adversity with awareness. I've given the picture of the brain because stress happens. People think that stress is what is happening outside. It is not so. Stress is happening inside. The problem is outside, but the thing which is taking place inside is in our body and as well as the mind. So the mind is inside the brain. So this is what I've noted. We handle the stress through the brain, which has been depicted here in this photograph. All the parts of the brain, whatever is there in this photograph. And so, how should I go to the next one?
You can share the screen and then go to the next.
Your screen is already shared. Go to the presentation mode.
Presentation mode.
At the bottom, you can see.
What do you see?
At let me.
Something has happened here. You told me something has happened.
Just go to the slideshow presentation at the bottom icon, right side, bottom. You can see.
It's missed. Able to see now? No.
We are able to see the screen, but it is not in the presentation mode.
Okay. I got it.
So,
One second. I see. Hey, I'm so sorry. Just I'm taking help. 1 second. Right, presentation. Right, presentation. Yeah. Is it slightly border? Yeah. Yeah. I'm so sorry. I am not too good in this thing. So is it okay?
Still, it has not come in presentation mode.
Or you can go to slideshow on the top menus, no? File home, click on slideshow and select from the beginning.
Resume slideshow. Is this okay?
Now it is okay.
Okay. I'm so sorry. I'm absolutely, I'm so weak in this IT kind of a thing. No, I'm just finding it very difficult. I'm so sorry. I'll just continue from where I left. So see, I had a serious issue because I had prepared about 63 slides and all the 63 slides got washed away on the 25th night. So I spent about another 12 hours preparing from whatever I knew. I made a framework, I made a structure, and all those things got missed. So what I did was I did everything throughout night I did, and then again I came back with this, and then it was all over. And yesterday night I was just checking. My daughter told me that the thing is not working. That is, the internet is not working. Then I tried to go into our lounge. We have a lounge in our apartment complex. We went there. There also the internet was not working. So I then called my sister, and then my nephew is working on this. Now I'm here doing this presentation from his sister's house. So again and again, I think there is stress. We need to accept stress as they are and then continue to move forward. From here, where is what I think we need to see in every count of life, because stress keeps affecting whether you are a student, whether you are a professional, whether you are a surgeon, whether you are a lawyer, whether you are a householder, whether you are a monk. I have seen so many monks suffering from stress. I have worked with a lot of people who worked in mutts and things like that. They all also suffer from stress. There is nobody who doesn't have stress. It is how you handle stress, I think, is what we will be talking about today. Because the people who do not have stress have already died, and they are about 6 feet below the ground. So we will accept stress and see how best we can handle stress. So with this, we begin. See, life is all about what is happening to you, and how you respond to it is another totally different dimension. Life is 10% of what is happening to you and 90% of how you respond to it. With this, we'll start the presentation. See, everyday stress, we know that we have lack of sleep, small travel issues, and then everyday routine, social media overload, etc. I think we will be knowing enough number of people who are just honking behind us and things like that. Medium stress, meeting a deadline at work, preparing for a public presentation, just like I am doing a public presentation now, managing a busy schedule or tight timeline, social media, online pressure, dealing with a difficult client, dealing with a difficult conversation, dealing with a conflict, worrying about an upcoming event or an appointment. These are all medium stresses. But high stresses will be a job interview or a spouse death, major financial decisions like investing in a house, serious health issues of your sibling or your child, or medical diagnosis for your father or mother, relationship problems, divorce, moving or relocation, natural disasters or emergencies, major life changes. Example, a marriage can be a major life change. That is also stress, but we will not know about it because we will go through the thing. But internally, we'll be having, because it's a huge change which is going to happen in our life. So that's also a stress. Trauma or loss, an accident, a trauma or a loss, or work-related issues, a work-related stress, harassment, bullying, etc. on the cyber media. They are all huge high stresses. See, I will tell the four noble parts of Buddha vis-a-vis four parts for a common man like me and you. Buddha says life involves suffering, dissatisfaction, and impermanence. He calls it dukkha. Suffering is caused by craving, attachment, and ignorance. He calls it samudaya. Suffering can end by letting go of craving and attachment. This is called nirodha. The way to end suffering is the noble eightfold path called Magga. He spent 40 years to find these four things that happens to be the four noble paths of Buddha. Now, for you and me, we need to continue with life. We can't go into a forest, into hiding and all that. So life involves some happiness, but a lot of stress and discomfort is what I think we will all be going through. And it is caused by desires and attachments. This stress can be overcome, letting go of these desires and attachments. The way to achieve this is by following a path of balance, mindfulness, and wisdom. This is for a common man like you and me. Buddha took 40 years. We know it right away. That we need to let go. Life is just like a sine wave. As an electrical engineer, I'm just saying it's like a sine wave going up and down, up and down. Say every up has got a down and every down has got an up. The point is we need to raise ourselves every time we fall down. I think that is the most important thing we need to take note of. Topics for today is understanding stress, worry, tension, adversity, depression, resilience, and it can be cured. Definitely it can be cured. Who are all affected by stress? Problems caused by stress. It is defined as in one way, diseases of the mind results in diseases of the body. Understanding the biology of reaction versus response, the amygdala hijack, and antidote to stress, how you get out of the problem. Understanding that attachment is the root cause of stress. Understanding that interpretation of stress can solve the stress issue. The types of personalities A, B, C, D, and F. And case studies, question and answers, and small stories and illustrations by which stress can be handled. In my own life experiences, I have seen people handling stress and being resilient, and then I have seen people who have let go of the things by giving, by understanding, by silence, and so many mechanics of solving the stress issue I have seen all that. So I'll explain to you whatever I'm able to come out in the next 1 hour, 15 minutes. Just a small one-liner for stress. See, stress is caused in the body-mind complex. It is the mind. See, the gap between where we are to where we want to be is defined as stress. We are here and we want to achieve, say, 1 crore rupees turnover or profit or anything. That is the gap between what you want and where you are. Is the gap is called stress. It could be a very small thing, it could be a very major thing. So that is the stress from where you are to where you want to be. And worry is the stress projected into an imagined future. Fear is something, a survival instinct that turns destructive. Fear is false impression appearing as real. That is what is fear about. Tension is yesterday's stress stored silently in the body. If you release it, it becomes no problem at all. But if you store the stress inside the body, it becomes tension. Tension causes your muscles, everything, all your muscles to expand. Inflammation happens. The heart doesn't behave well. Your diabetes increases. All those things are all caused by tension. If you release the stress, I think the tension will go. Distress is the stress that overwhelms our capacity, inner capacity to cope. Adversity is prolonged challenge that tests not comfort but character and gives meaning to the life. How the stress causes adversity and how adversity causes meaning to life if you use it in the proper way. Depression is the collapse of inner energy and you result in sadness, discomfort, and no hope at all. And the connection is missing and the meaning is also missing. That is depression. Depression is the ultimate, final thing is depression. Depression, you go to a psychiatrist and all these stresses, worry, tension, fear, distress, adversity, you go to a psychologist who will do counseling. Depression, you go to a psychiatrist who, because this is a mental issue, you go to a psychiatrist who will give you medication. Also at the same time, they will direct you to a psychologist or a counselor who will address the program, who will address this situation. So it's a combination of going to a medical doctor, that is MBBS in psychiatry. So you go to the doctor, you get medication along with a lot of antidotes to cure this depression. Depression is the highest form of all this. But these other things like stress, worry, tension, fear, distress, adversity, they take a toll on your life because finally all these things results in psychosomatic diseases of the body. And psychosomatic diseases of the body means that is the mind will respond in such a way that it releases so much of cortisol and adrenaline in the thing very, very high. And so that, and your breathing will become shallow and you will have enormous amount of psychosomatic problem. So the first 6 are different and the 7th one is different, but stress causes this depression finally. The human beings, I'll tell you, the universe was, our universe where we live in is about 14 to 15 billion years old. Our Earth is about 4.6 billion years old. And slowly the minerals were formed and then the plants came into picture, the animals came into picture, then the human beings came into picture. We all know that. But in the evolutionary cycle, the purpose of evolution is, the purpose of the universe is evolution. The purpose of a human being is transformation. We all have to transform ourselves from being an animal to being a human, and we are just about making a mark there in becoming a completely human being. We are half animal, half man, and sometimes 70% animal and 30% man. You can see the number of rape incidents, you can see the number of killing, you can see the number of so many things where we do not use our intellect. The intellect is there inside the prefrontal cortex, which is there in our brain. And prefrontal cortex develops completely only when you become 20 years old. So that even our voting or our marriage, everything takes place only after 21 years. So I'll just come back to this. Emotions came first. Emotions came about 200 to 500 million years ago, and it emerged in early vertebrates and mammals, driven by survival needs, fear, aggression, and bonding, etc. Controlled mainly by the limbic system, that is the amygdala, present in animals long before humans. The purpose is survival, reproduction, quick decision, and key structures are amygdala, brainstem, limbic system, etc. Our logic came much later, long later. See, 200 to 500 million years old for the emotion, and it took a long time to develop our prefrontal cortex, which started taking place between 2 and 3 million years ago, and fully developed about 2 lakh years ago. That is the Homo sapiens, the early form of us, and emerged with tool use, language planning, mobility, etc. Controlled, everything is controlled by the prefrontal cortex. This is a very, very important thing for us to understand. That is, the prefrontal cortex plays a very important role in understanding and questioning and being very objective. It's so important and highly developed only in modern humans. Modern humans doesn't mean that you go to the US, they are very modern. No, that is very ordinary. Modern means who have this understanding to use their intellect. Using the intellect, the number of people using the intellect is very, very less. They are intelligent. Americans are very intelligent, and our people who have a lot of IQ, they are intelligent, etc., etc. But the number of people who have this intellect, questioning mind, and objective mind are extremely less. Logic and reasoning revolve later, and they pave the way for a lot of innovations and a lot of things. Why? This logic and reasoning plays a very important role in our evolutionary process. Although the feelings and emotions are very important, you need to have empathy, you need to have sympathy, you need to have compassion, etc., etc. But finally, you have to go when you have stress and things like that, you need to go by a logic and reasoning, and emotions don't help there. See, the two things, two frames are there. Here, the 8 steps show how a man can perish through wrong thinking. First, thoughts are formed, and then the thoughts deepen again and again. I need this one, I need this one, I need this one, I need this one. And it gets into an attachment. And then through attachment, you get desire. And then if the desire is not satisfied, it becomes anger. And anger, not anger. If it is, it depends on the intensity of the anger. If it is extreme anger, it becomes krodha, as the Sanskrit proper definition says. So it becomes krodha. Krodha means extreme wrath, fear, anger. And then this anger turns into delusion. Delusion turns into loss of memory, and then there is absolutely no discrimination, because loss of memory means you have all whatever decisions you have taken in the past, all the experience you have shared and you have been exposed to in the past, everything goes away, and so nothing remains. You just do something without thinking because of your thoughts, because of your attachment. This is the slide for attachment. If you let go of your attachment, everything will be safe, and you will be in a sane position. You will not have taken any kind of a step. Here, the second slide shows awareness, perception, reaction. This awareness precedes choice. See, if you think, just pause a little bit. If there is a stimuli through the senses outside, and the stimuli is going to your brain, and that is perceived by the thalamus in the brain region, it becomes awareness. Awareness comes in between a response and a reaction. If you are aware, I wasn't aware that day, 2 days ago, when I was about to copy something to the other. Instead of copy, I just cut the slides, and then happened this peril. So that one particular second, even while driving, one particular second is enough. If you're not aware, you can end up into a huge accident. Or my accident was that I lost 63 slides on the 25th. Again, I had to prepare all the slides because I was not aware of that particular thing for that particular second. This awareness has to be present, has to be there all the time. So with awareness, you can solve a lot of things. And with removing the attachments, you can solve a lot of things. So awareness and attachment are the two takeaway messages for today's talk. But anyway, I will continue with the presentation, because if these two are solved, I think we can stop the presentation, but that is not going to be the case for all of us, because we have to conquer this awareness and attachments. We need to go through all the slides because we are not there yet. The 3 C's, the winning combination for a long, happy life, the hardiness quotient. See, we need to be committed to self. We need to be committed. First of all, we need to be committed to ourselves and our family, our work, and all other important values. We should have control over life, a personal control over one's life. You should definitely, and challenge, the ability to see change as a challenge. Challenge is a very important factor because change is continuously happening. See, if you're standing in a river and after a second, the portion of the water has already flown away from your from under your feet. So a portion of water has already flown under the feet. So that is a change. Change continuously happens. See, even in one day, so many million cells are taken away from our body, and then new cells are replaced, so that people say, doctors say, in 1 year, all the cells in your body, there are about 6 to 10 trillion cells or maybe more. So many trillion cells are changed totally in the body. So you're not your body, and you're not your intellect, you are not your mind, you are a God in disguise. So this is something which you need to think about. See change as a challenge. These are the ingredients of psychological hardiness. The same situations, we have the same situations. Somebody overtakes you from the left, somebody honks, keeping on honking from behind. The ingredients, that is, the situations are the same, but how you react or how you respond determines the pace of your progress or your peace in life, or both. Who all gets affected by stress? We all know students, working professionals, entrepreneurs, homemakers, caregivers, parents, elderly, daily wage workers, doctors, nurses, legal, government officers, everybody nobody is spared. Everybody gets affected by stress. The intensity of stress is different at different stages, but how you handle stress is what I think we will be discussing in the next few slides. Stress. Stress tests your coping ability. Adversity tests your resilience. So these are the things: tight deadlines and work pressure, heavy workload and multitasking, traffic congestion or travel delays, financial bills, exam pressure, workplace conflicts, health worries, overcommitment, information overload, fear of making mistakes are all stress factors. And adversity is far more deeper amount of stress. Loss of a loved one, serious or chronic illness, stage 4 cancer, or pancreatitis in a serious level, or cancer, or any other very major issues. Long hardship, a divorce or major relationship breakdown, career stagnation or repeated rejections, sudden life-changing accidents, deep personal failure or humiliation, identity crisis or loss of purpose, major transitions, retirement is a major adversity. You know, people during we belong to some age. My father and other people, normally those people, after retirement, after 2, 3 years, they pass away. Normally. So this today, the medical sciences have advanced, and our thinking abilities have also advanced, so that with both the things into consideration, I think people live up to 80, 90 comfortably. Aram say they will live up to about 80, 90 years old. The major problem for those people in our yesteryears where retirement was a major problem. After retirement, you can safely say that they will die in another about 2, 3, 4 years. And it was taken as normal only. Stress scale. This is a very important slide for you to understand. One second. Yeah. Death of a spouse is 100. Divorce is 73. The next one. Death of a family member is 63. Marriage 50. Fired from work is 47. Change in financial status 38. Death of a close friend 37. Marital arguments 36. I've just written from my point of view, mortgage loan more than 1 crore, about 31. So foreclosure of mortgage loan is 30. Son and daughter leaving home. Spouse begins or stops work. Trouble with boss. Change in residence. Change in sleeping habits. Mortgage loan of less than 1 crore. Vacation. Minor violation of law. All these things are there. But the left side column is more severe. That is an enormous, what should I say, intensity of the stress factor which can happen. A death of the spouse is the most difficult thing to handle, followed by other things, death of your parents or your sons or your siblings or etc. etc. It comes down the line. I haven't put marks. I haven't put a value for that. Divorce is another very important thing, because emotionally they would have been connected and then suddenly they go through a divorce. It is something which a lot of people don't handle it very well. And death of a family member I've written here. Marriage also, and fired from work, change in financial status, death of a close friend, marital arguments, every day you argue, mortgage loans, all those things compound to the stress factor, and it affects your body because more cortisol, more adrenaline flows, and these are very bad chemicals. And these things affect your life. It affects your journey in life. How stress links to deadly diseases. See, these are the issues. The stress is not directly killing anybody, but it makes rise to insulin resistance, unhealthy habits, poor sleep, diet, then insulin resistance, and then heart diseases come, high blood pressure, damaged arteries, weakened immunity, inflammation, hormonal imbalances. All those things are all caused by stress because of these two cortisols, adrenaline, and because of that, and because of your bad breathing, your mind is getting disturbed, and then it sends a lot of panic related chemicals, these hormones, to various parts of the body, so which increases your or which decreases your immunity and makes rise to deadly diseases that includes your heart, your any part of the body. The strength of the chain depends on the strength of the weakest link. So whichever is the weakest link, supposing it is your pancreas, supposing it is your heart, supposing it is something else in your small intestines or your gastrointestinal thing, or anything whichever is weak, first it goes and attacks that. And then it goes to other parts of the body, and it doesn't leave you there at all unless you handle the stress very well by means of practicing mindfulness, practicing meditation, doing exercises, and then controlling the number of thoughts. The number of thoughts controlling is a very important thing. Age and stress. As you are there in the teenage and between 21 and 30, the stress is supposed to be very high. 70% stress, as the drawing indicates. And the 31 to 40, it's slightly lesser, to about 60 to 63%. And 41 to 50, it is slightly lesser, about 45, 47%. And 51 to 60, it comes to 15%, because you would have steadied your life and you would have become more matured. Between 21 and 30, your maturity level is very less. Your understanding skills are very less. You are in a competitive world, and a lot of things happen because you are competing with a lot of people in the world. Things really happen when you are 21 and 30. A lot of stress is taking place, but your immunity is also slightly strong, so that you don't fall fatally for that. But again, the stress levels are very high when you are younger in age. Is actually stress. Stress tests the emotional regulation, nervous system balance, awareness, ability to pause instead of react. Stress reveals how we relate to pressure, not how capable we are. Two people may face the same situation, one collapses, other remains calm. The difference is not capacity, but understanding that stress actually means inner regulation. Adversity is often a long-term and a life-altering thing. Adversity may, as I discussed, loss of a loved one, serious illness, job failure, or business failure. It's a long-term thing. Relationship breakdown, identity crisis, repeated setbacks, and adversity challenges not just our comfort but our meaning. Stress will ask you, how do I cope up with the situation? Adversity is asking, who am I becoming through this particular adversity? Depression is another thing wherein you go to a psychiatrist because it's a very important factor. A persistent low mood with enormous sadness, with loss of interest or pleasure in life, a condition that affects thoughts, emotions, body, and behavior. And it's often accompanied by fatigue, sleep changes, and low motivation. Involves negative thinking, hopelessness, and withdrawal. It's not a weakness or choice, but a mental health condition that can be treated. See, the point is everything can be treated. Everything, whatever it is, it can be treated. Go with a positive mind. We should all be in a positive frame of mind, thinking that it is possible to get treated. I think that one thing will solve most of the things. Reasons for stress: uncertainty about the future, anger and unresolved emotions, grief and loss, financial pressure, job insecurity or layoffs, relationship conflicts, health concerns. But one of the biggest causes of stress is often overlooked. That is our thinking pattern. We are our own worst enemy. I think we need to take care of, make note of this. We are our worst enemy because we don't need enemies from outside. Most of the enemies are hidden inside. Our own mind is our biggest enemy. Our mind can become a very, very useful tool if you take care of it very well, if you handle it very well, and if you understand things very well. You can make use of your mind, or your mind itself will turn into an enemy and destroy you completely. And our thoughts, interpretations, and self-criticism have to be properly handled. Modern stress amplifiers. I'm slowly coming in as in 2025. It is intensified by overthinking, information overload. How much of Twitter and how much of X and Y and Z and things like that. How many notifications we receive. How much of comparisons we make through YouTube video. And the boredom mixed with restlessness. Every second, whether there is a message or not, immediately take the phone and then start looking at the phone. And another most important thing is taking oneself too seriously. You should not be too serious about yourself. And lack of rest and play. You watch a Vadivelu comedy or watch a Laurel and Hardy comedy to take that as an antidote to handle this stress. Rather than seeing this YouTube video continuously being occupied, people spend about 8 to 10 hours. On an average, it seems teenagers spend about 8 to 10 hours on social media. And then how can one think of very major decisions? Because most of the important, most important thing in life is about taking decisions. How the decisions will be normal if you are there on the phone all the time? What is the kind of clarity you will be having? It seems it takes about 23 minutes for someone is talking to you or someone, there is a notification for you to come back to that original state. It takes about 23 minutes. So that is not cool. So how can you take good decisions? So that all these things, it affects your body. And this is a modern stress amplifier. We are mentally busy, but inwardly disconnected. You need to be connected to the spirit. You are always connected with the mobile phone. That is why it is called a touch phone. Keep on touching it so that it's called a touch phone, I think. How to handle stress? I think we'll come to the other side of it. How to handle stress? First, you accept it. You pause. Even when you are there on the traffic, you will see the red light. You just stop there, and then this amber will come. This orange light will come. You pause. Then the green light comes. So the step one is pause. take 3 long breaths. Don't react. Just take 3 long breaths. There is a situation wherein you will be given a situation where you will immediately have to react. You take 3 long breaths and then observe. Are you feeling anger? Are you feeling fear? Are you having pressure? Accept the situation because things have already happened. You can't go back and then erase it in memory or erase it in person or erase it in actual life. You can't do that. You accept that. And one has to know that resistance amplifies stress. If you accept things as they are, they will dissolve. Most of the things will get dissolved. Somebody dies. Okay, I'm just telling a very simple. That is, it is a very difficult thing. But sooner or later, you need to accept because you can't bring the dead man to life. Whoever it is, you need to accept it and then keep moving. That is the best thing. But I'm telling you, it is very difficult in my own friend's case. My friend's father worked under, he is R.M. Ramasamy. R.M. Ramasamy worked under Raja Sri Muttaya Chettiar. So he worked with him for ages, long years. For 40 years he worked. And then suddenly Raja Muttaya Chettiar died. This man who worked under Raja Muttaya Chettiar for say about 40 years could get over the problem of death only after about 22, 23 years. He told me that. He is no more, Mr. R.M. Ramasamy. He died when he was 91. But he told me this, that it took him 22 years because he could not accept. That is the issue. If you accept, life has to move on. Life has to keep moving on. How soon you accept determines the pace of your progress and the pace of your peace, how much you are at peace with yourself. And next thing is you have to reframe this. How can I interpret what is happening to me? Can I see it this way, or can I see it this way? What could be this? What could be that? Objectivity is so very important in this. Reframing the question. Somebody is asking you a question in a debate. You reframe the question. Is this what you are asking? Is this what I'm going to answer? Is this what? Be objective and ask a lot of questions. You will come to know a better way of dealing with, because understanding a question is to know how to answer them, because those people who understand the question very well answer it very well. People who don't understand the question, they will not be able to answer it very well. And then release the control, meaning let go of everything outside your influence. Whoever it's not in your influence, you should just let go of everything. Focus only on your action and your effort. Nothing else. Go into the process, just go do that process and focus only on your action. Nothing else. Outside influence and all those things, you forget it. Just do your action. Your action is there inside the brain. You just do that action inside, and you just reframe the whole thing. And then things will all be in your control. Act wisely. Action dissolves fear. If there is a problem, just don't ruminate and sit there. Immediately move, because life wants you to move. Life wants you to move. If you move, and then there is a thing that is taking place in the mind that, oh, this guy wants to live, let me help him. Immediately move from that place. Immediately move. If there is a problem happening to you, slightly smile. Whatever it is, somebody hits you on your cheek, you smile. Somebody bumps you on your car, just a little smile, because then immediately your mind thinks, oh, you are happy, you are at peace. Now, let me not trouble him any further with my own killer thing, like cortisol and this thing and all. You smile, you pause, and then act wisely. That is movement and a little bit of smile, and then movement is what is action, as I've written here. Plan, communicate, ask for help. Ask for help. Ask, seek, knock is what Jesus told. You ask somebody, because keeping it to yourself will not solve any problem. I've seen a lot of people suffering from cancer not telling anybody. Why not? You need social support. Definitely, you need to tell people to seek their help. That is, you talk to a lot of people, your burden will come down. You share not only your laughter and your thing also. You should have a close Mercury, Venus, Mars like that. So you need a lot of people who are very close to you in orbit so that you can get closer to them, and then they will guide you and they will be an emotional regulator. They can actually guide you with all your this thing. And then adjust your expectation, reduce your expectation. In the Art of Living program conducted by Sri Sri Ravi Shankar, the most important thing, the first point he says is this one, reduce your expectation. Reduce your expectation, fear automatically comes down. If your expectation is say 1 crore rupees, make it 75 lakh rupees. No, I'm just telling you a small example. No, I'm just a small example. It doesn't, it could not possibly apply, but I'm just saying, adjust your expectation. Don't expect so much from your friend. Don't, don't accept so many things from somebody. Adjust your expectation. So that will be able to actually be able to tide over the crisis. And then rest and recover. Most important thing, if you are able to sleep well, and if you are able to silence your mind through meditation or mindfulness, and go to nature and just see the still trees. Most people go to the holiday and they don't keep quiet. They rob themselves of the privacy of the pristine forest. What they do is they immediately take the telephone, your phone, your blessed phone, and then start taking pictures and all that. You don't appreciate nature. You don't appreciate the stillness. The trees are still. What you have to do is when you go to a forest forest or hill station or whatever, I think that silence, that stillness, and then prioritize your sleep. You sleep, if it is possible for you to sleep for 9, 10, 11 hours, it's okay. For you to rest and recover when you have gone through enormous stress, these are the very important factors. And then reflect and learn. What happened? Why these things happen to me, and how is it I need to devise a recovery process so that I don't take 5 days to recover, I take only 3 days to recover. Reflection. You just journal everything, how the stress was there and how you handled it. This reflection transforms stress into wisdom. How to handle depression is another important thing. Seek support early. Talk to a trusted person, a counselor. And most important thing I've realized is do not offer any advice to somebody who is suffering depression. You should have done like this. You should have done like that. It happened to my own case. I was depressed for about 2-3 weeks at some time when my son took a decision to leave playing professional cricket and join and do business. I had a huge depression because I had left my job, I had left my company, I closed my company, everything. And then after a few years, this fellow says, I'm going to leave my first class cricket. Was playing for the state, was playing professional cricket, almost got into India under 19 when Kohli was the captain. But finally he said, no, I'm not doing this. That made me go into a depression. And my father's case also, which was not doing great. Then I was going through a depression. I had taken a decision to quit business. This fellow had taken a decision to quit cricket, and my father's case was not going well in the court. All these things compounded my health. I started eating more and I became so much depressed for about 3 weeks. So at that time, people were telling me, you should do this. You have everything. You have money. You have this. You have friends. You have this. That is not going to solve. That will only aggravate the problem. So don't try to offer solutions to a person who is already going through a depression, is what I would say, because I have gone through this. I'm telling you with a lot of authority. Talk to a trusted person who will not say anything negative about your present state. You will have to do that. Talk to a trusted person. Go to a psychiatrist. Psychiatrist will evaluate everything based upon about, say, 200 questions you need to answer through a computer. You need to answer all those questions and all. And then what they do is they make an evaluation of how severe your depression is. And then they check your BP and then your pattern of your breathing and then the pattern of your sleep and the pattern of your food habits, everything. And then they give tablets based upon that. And then when you come back home, you stabilize the body by regular sleep, nutrition. by regular sleep, by nutritious food, by sunlight, like that. You need to stabilize the body. And thoughts will have to be very less. Depression is sadness, aloneness, and people who suffer through that have a lot of negativity in them. You will have to tell everything positive to that person, everything positive to them. And what I did when I was depressed, I faked it to make it. I went to my friend's son's wedding. I was very depressed one day. I went with my son. I remember that was, say, about 10 some years back. I was depressed, but I wanted to come out of this depression. So I dressed up very well. And I thought I was extremely good. And I faked it. I smiled and I looked good on the mirror. So I went to the wedding and then I faked myself. How are you, Ramkumar? I said, I'm fantastic, as fantastic as ever. And then I started saying things that made me feel that I'm all right. I'm telling my subconscious mind, I'm becoming all right. I'm getting all right. I'm all right totally. So that helped me come out of the depression. And you stay connected. I used to say mantra japa. I say the word, the name of my Ishta Devata all the time. So that is one thing which made me connected to the deeper side of myself. And then
program in him. Ayan.
avoid isolation, avoid small social contacts is what I
Sridevi.
think you should be looking at.
Ayan program.
Avoid isolation and then restore meaning and hope. Your mindfulness helps, spirituality helps. I used to go to the Ramakrishna Mutt every day for 6 months for this Aarti. And it has helped me a lot during the time when I was quitting business. I had run the business for about 29, 30 years. And then for me to quit business, I was going to the Ramakrishna Mutt for 6 months, 180 days flat, without any break. All the Aartis I've seen. 2 Aartis I saw in Belur Mutt. The next day I was there in Belur Mutt, Calcutta. 2 times it happened like that. And not one Aarti I missed. And silence really helps. It restores meaning and hope. Mindfulness, spirituality, meditation, service. I do service only. I was doing service during COVID also. I was giving food packets to 400 people. So the service activity takes the mind away from me to you all, etc. So that service also is a very useful activity which can be taken into account whether you are depressed, whether you are all right. I think this giving your time, giving your ideas, giving your money, or giving something, offer advice, or doing any purposeful activity. Depression heals through support structure, connection and meaning, not through willpower alone. Support structure is so important. So especially during when you have a problem like depression, when you have something like a cancer, or when you're losing connection with yourself, that support structure, that is your family, the very close ones, your wife, your parents, your siblings, your sons and daughters, your aunts and uncles, all those people and your neighbors, that support structure is so important. This support structure is the most important thing for even Japanese people who live up to, say, 100 plus years, just because of one very important culture they follow. Although when the experiment was conducted in the US, when all these people were also given red meat, etc., these Japanese people, because of their cultural connections, cultural instincts, and cultural support, cultural structure, they were able to tide over everything. Whatever happens to them, they live more than 100 years because of the culture. And social structure is what I'm talking about. It's so very important. The structure is very important. Don't isolate yourself. Always be in company. You need to be alone for some portions of time. You need to meditate for some portion of time, but you need connection with the world outside. And those connections are also very important, because finally, we all together make it in life, and you don't make it in life alone. The biological explanation for handling stress. See, I'll tell you, see, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a psychologist, but I'm not a psychiatrist also, but I will explain to you how this works. See, we have five senses. This mouth, then your ears, the eyes, the skin, all those things. Those things perceive the senses from outside. Then it grows into the hippocampus, where there is memory, and then it goes to the sensory cortex, and then it goes to the prefrontal cortex, and then it goes as a behavior or a response. This is a normal cycle. That is the instincts. Then it comes into this this one, the limbic system that is composed of this hippocampus, and then the sensory cortex, and then prefrontal cortex. It goes through the amygdala also, and then the decision is taken, and then the behavior happens. But if there is a problem, immediately what happens is, this is called the amygdala hijack. What happens is, if there is a problem, we are wired like how we were wired, like what happens in suddenly a tiger comes, suddenly a lion comes, suddenly a big elephant comes. So what do? We respond in two ways, fight or flight. So fight or flight is very important. If it takes place once, it's okay. But thinking about the same fight or flight all the time will do something very bad to the parasympathetic nervous system. And what happens is, in this case of a amygdala hijack, that is, the senses will perceive, and then it goes directly to the amygdala. The amygdala is a thing which is there inside the brain, which will immediately detect stress or determine something very nasty is going to happen, and immediately it goes to a reaction without consulting the intellect, which is there in the sensory cortex, which is there in the prefrontal cortex. Prefrontal cortex is the most important thing for anyone to be sane. All the rapes and murders and things like that, they are all because of this amygdala coming into picture. The amygdala is the number one useless thing for us, but amygdala is very important, just because if there is suddenly going to be an accident, this amygdala will immediately come into picture. There it helps. But in most of the cases, 98% of the cases, prefrontal cortex is so very important. This amygdala is very important when it comes to fight or flight. When you go by car, immediately you need to stop somewhere because some other car is approaching in the other direction. This amygdala helps. But this prefrontal cortex reflect, digest, and the parasympathetic system, all those things will be really, really handy, and it creates all the important hormones, and it helps you take all the important decisions. This prefrontal cortex, concentrate on that. Please take this one word from this session. Prefrontal cortex. How to improve the prefrontal cortex? If you Google it, you will find enough answers to all this. I'll talk about this more in the coming slides. This see, we have two nervous systems. This autonomic nervous system consists of two nervous systems. One is sympathetic nervous system. The other one is parasympathetic nervous system. This sympathetic nervous system is activated, as I was telling you, during stress, danger, or perceived threat. Prepares the body for flight or fight or freeze, increases the heart rate, speeds up breathing and dilates airways, redirects blood to muscles, releases stress hormones, adrenaline, cortisol, suppresses digestion and immune activity, sharpens focus on immediate survival, reduces rational thinking, etc., etc. So this is all right for, say, about 5 minutes, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, like that. But what if it is there all the time? That is stress. That will cause a lot of problems to all of us. So this parasympathetic nervous system is rest, digest, and heal. Activated during safety, rest, and repair. Promotes rest, digestion, slows down heart rate, deepens and calms breathing, improves digestion, supports immune system, encourages hormonal balance, restores mental clarity, strengthens prefrontal cortex regulation, and essential for long-term health, resilience, and peace. So we need both. No, we can't be sitting here in this room silently watching the computer. We need some kind of an activity, some kind. We need stress. We need a little bit of stress, but we should not go beyond certain extremes. We need stress. Otherwise, life will be a straightaway bore. It will be just like as if you are in a coma. We need to act. We need problems. We need challenges. Otherwise, there is no meaning to life. And you should realize yourself finally. But the combination of sympathetic nervous system of say about 5% and parasympathetic nervous system of 90%, I think it will be a reasonably good ratio to handle your life in a much better way. So this, as I told you, this is the flow chart. The five senses goes to the thalamus and those to hippocampus, which is the memory kind of a thing. Then it goes to sensory cortex and then prefrontal cortex, and the conscious response is given through the body. Here, during this amygdala hijack, the five senses goes to the thalamus, then it goes to the amygdala, and then unconsciously you do some reaction, which is very, very bad. And it creates a lifetime of problem. If one unconscious thing, and you have a problem for life, or a problem for 1 year, or a problem for 1 month, or at least a problem for 1 day. This amygdala hijack, please see that it is avoided and see that this prefrontal cortex works very well. Just like now and then you have to see whether your RCCB is working well in the house. You now and then see whether your prefrontal cortex, your intellect portion of the mind is working very well. Here, this amygdala is good in some ways, but it should not be controlling our responses or our reactions, sorry. This is the brain function aligned with amygdala hijack. This is the thing. This will all be available on YouTube video when it comes. I think you can go through that. This is a normal response directly through what I spoke just now. The thalamus, hippocampus, sensory cortex, prefrontal. This is the flow. And what happens, this is said in the right side, five senses, thalamus, amygdala, unconscious reaction will take place when it's on the right. The red color thing. You can go through it leisurely and please see the two things, that is amygdala and the prefrontal cortex. These two are very, very important. Antidote to stress. Dopamine is a reward chemical. These are the things. Listen to music, eating food, try something new, celebrating little wins. Oxytocin, playing with the pet, giving a compliment, doing nice for someone. Serotonin, being in the sun, exercises, meditation, surrounded by nature. Serotonin is very important. Actually, this is the important antidote for depression, the mood stabilizer, because depression it harms the mood of the person. So serotonin is so important as a mood stabilizer. So these are the antidotes for that. And endorphins is just a painkiller, laughing or watching a comedy or taking dark chocolate, exercising and applying essential oils, etc. The stress hormones, adrenaline, heart beats faster, BP shoots, cortisol increases sugar levels in blood. All right, for small portions of time, but if it is there all the time, for everything, if you get stressed, I think you have a problem. You need to calm that by having a lot of mindful moments, like being in the present and doing meditation and exercises to avoid those stresses. When awareness is strong in the center, as you can see in the drawing, your spirituality is improved, your connection is getting better, your mental and emotional things, you have a positive mindset, and your health is good, your lifestyle and environment are better, you have a simpler living and you have a healthy habit, and physical and social, you have movement and exercise, connection and support, everything, only if you're aware. And awareness happens if you're there in the present moment, and if you're if you're still internally, and you are observing everything without judgment. then you can have this awareness factor coming into picture. And awareness is the very, very important thing to handle anything in life, be it a question, answering a question paper, or understanding the question, or answering all the problems in life, understanding situations as they are. This is awareness. Awareness is something which is between response and reaction, and awareness plays a very important role in improving your life and getting meaning in your life. You live with awareness, that is, with heightened awareness. There is a gap here, as I told you, awareness, perception, and response, and awareness is between perception and reaction. And response and reaction in between the gap is this awareness. Awareness, acceptance, letting go. These are the aspects of awareness. Mindfulness, it can be corrected using this mindfulness, breath, presence, allowing, and acceptance is allowing emotions without judgment, dropping resistance, and letting go is a very important factor. That is, it lets you release control of the whole thing, releases the ego, releases expectation. Surrender is another very important spiritual quality. That is, you're not you do everything, because even in the Gita it says, do your actions without expecting the reward of the action. You surrender everything to God, and God will take care, because finally it's all about surrender. Life is like a game of chess. You surrender everything. That is, when you play chess with God, suppose your moves are called choices and his moves are called consequences. And the more and more choices you take, there are more and more consequences coming. And finally, when you are playing very well, God allows you win the game by, God wins the game by allowing you to win the game. So when you surrender yourself and doing the work properly, and then God will help you finally, the choice consequence thing, God will help you get what you want. That is the action of surrender. Your moves are called choices and his moves are called consequences. Choices, consequences, choices, consequences. After a while, the principal prime mover, that is God here in this case, will take care of your intent, and then he will allow you to win the game. Accepting the present moment as they are, because the last moment, it just went away without a whisper, it went away. So you accept the present moment and acting sincerely while releasing attachment to the outcomes. This is Bhagavad Gita. Surrender is not weakness, it is alignment with reality. You need to understand that. And giving reduces ego, self-centeredness, everything, etc. You can see it from the slide. And service, I have done these two things extremely well. I'll tell you a story about giving and how it had helped somebody. I know a person whose son was a nerd. Nerd means who just goes on studying. He did his engineering from the top university in India, did his MS from that place, US. And then he got married to someone whose father, the wife's father, was a businessman. The marriage, as usual, no, first 6 months was very, very good, extremely good, very close, very traveling, etc. And then suddenly the daughter's father fell into bad times, and he lost quite a lot of substantial amount of money in business. And this man, this nerd, without any understanding, without any emotions, started mistreating his wife, because her father was broke now. He wanted his the son-in-law to take care of him. So this fellow didn't like. So he created a lot of problems for the wife, who already had a child. And then the problems went on and on. And then the boy's father, the boy's mother comes to know about it. And then she wants to intervene and she wants to give something to the woman. Because this man would not give anything to the wife. This is lack of awareness. This is lack of awareness by this gentleman who is talking without being aware that his audio is on. This awareness is very important. So, thanks, Gopi. now I forgot. Yeah, this man would not give even 1 rupee to the wife, would not give anything to them. So this the mother of the man was so much caught in between. She wanted to help, but this man, this tyrant, this demon would not allow his mother to give anything to the wife. So, but this woman has started having problems. She had a heart problem. She had diabetes problem. Her legs shook, and then she had arthritis problem. It went on for a few years, and then suddenly this woman realized that let me talk to my friend. So she went and consulted her friend. She said, without this your son coming to know about it, why don't you do this, giving your property which he doesn't know about, and a little bit of gold and a little bit of cash to this woman, to this daughter-in-law of yours. Then she thought it was a good idea, but what if he comes to know? You said the friend said, forget that. If you do it with your good intention, nothing will happen. You will never come to know about it. And that's what she did. And she gave her property, bequeathed her property, a little bit of gold and a lot of money to this woman. And lo and behold, you won't believe that the wife was very happy, very comfortable. She took the thing out. She went to another place. She got a place there and she lived with her father. And this woman, lo and behold, once again, she got out of her depression. She got out of her heart problem. She got out of diabetes, and her arthritis became better. Gift of giving is absolutely good for well-being. This is something which I thought I'll share with you. I know this person, I know this woman, I know what has happened and how this giving has helped alleviate everybody. Finally, this guy is happy that he didn't give anything. His wife got a lot from her mother-in-law, and she is happy. And now this mother-in-law is very happy that she was able to help her daughter-in-law. And the divorce took place and all that, and everything. They all lived happily separately, and so life moved on. And another thing is service. See, service to humanity, service to God is what Ramakrishna said. Swami Vivekananda also agreed on the same thing. Service to humanity, because you serve somebody without any kind of return. And what if I get, what you will get what I will get if I do this for you, is what people ask. No, what have I done for what is it the country is doing for me? I think it's a wrong question. What is it you can do for the country? The country will in turn return it to you in unexpected ways. What I can do without any expectation, just do something on your own, without ego. You do something without just your right hand should not know what your left hand is giving. Do some service. Take immediately your maid's son or your maid's daughter should not be again a maid or anything small. He should or she should get education. You make those two people, the children of the maid should not become a maid. They should be educated through you. You can educate them through your funding, through your help from other sources, and you educate them, teach them English, teach them computer, teach them discipline, teach them all the soft skills. All those things really help. That is, help everybody. Do service. During COVID, I was very happy that I gave about 400 food packets to everybody, policemen, to beggars, to people who have lost their their employment. I helped some of them get employment. A lot of things you do by service without expectations. That really helps. All those things help in leading a life of peace, happiness. These two things, giving and service, are very, very important. These are very two important antidotes for handling stress. All those things you can see in the YouTube video. Art of letting go is also so very important. Why we hold on? We cling to the past and we have expectations. We have an identity and validation, the emotional burden. We should let go of people. Whoever is caustic, we should let go of those people. We don't need such people who are absolutely caustic. We should let go of people. We should let go of self-judgment. And we should have self-compassion. we should have forgiveness. Supposing we do something without our knowing, I think we should have self-compassion and we should not suffer guilt. We should let go of control, balance effort and surrender. Outcomes cannot be forced. Tools for letting go, emotional decluttering, journaling is very important. I have been writing journal for the last about 50 years. I journal the whatever has happened, something noteworthy, everything I note it on a day-to-day basis. Very important. And mindfulness, rituals and small improvements are very important. Conclusion, letting go is choosing peace, clarity, emotional and freedom. And this is a very important point. This vagus nerve. Vagus nerve is there from the base of the brain stem. It goes to all the parts of the body. It starts from just below the neck somewhere. It goes to all the parts of the body. So this vagus nerve improves your parasympathetic nervous system. If you allow, you will innervate it. If you can actualize it, you can make it work by means of the following things like slow, deep breathing, meditation, prayer, mindfulness, chanting, humming, singing, cool water splash helps, acts of kindness, acts of service, and social connections. All those things help you in improving the brain, that is, in improving the vagus nerve. The vagus nerve is the one which has to be activated all the time. It keeps the calm body and mind. It lowers the heart rate. It regulates the breathing. It supports digestion. It helps detoxify, regulates insulin, and aids digestion and absorption. It balances emotion. It boosts immunity, and it cultivates calmness. This vagus nerve, people might not have heard of this. It's a very important point in the parasympathetic nervous system, which should be taken into consideration. So this is what the vagus nerve only. Awareness, the most powerful antidote, as I told you some time back. Awareness precedes choice, and it should be it is a very important thing. You should concentrate on your breath and observe thoughts without following them. Become a witness to emotions. Anchor yourself. You should have an anchor in God or someone or your work or something. You should have an awareness of how things work. That is, what should I say? Anchor yourself. Yeah. Anchor is something which is God or your work or your of the family, anyone who can take it as an anchor. I have an Ishta Devata. I anchor myself there. Whatever is happening, it is through that. I continuously chant some japa. So that is an anchor for me. An anchor for you could be something, another Ishta Devata for you, or your work itself if you're a atheist, or some Swamiji or a monk or a parish somebody or your guru or your acharya or somebody. You should anchor yourself somewhere. Then when awareness increases, stress decreases automatically. Awareness is the antidote for stress, and it decreases automatically. This is why meditation is considered the ultimate stress antidote. Acceptance is a very important factor. I'll tell you a story. This again, I know this person very well. He was working in some company. His father was the CEO of another company, and he was doing well. And they had a posh apartment somewhere in India. And what happened was the wife, that is this boy's mother, was a little bit arrogant kind of a type. What she did was she used to mistreat all the bosses, the man's employees, the driver, etc., etc. She used to make them feel very tiny kind of thing, no, because of her ego. She wasn't doing anything. She was just a housewife, but she behaved very nastily with all the man's people. So what happened was once there was a knock on the door, and this woman opened the door, and then this man came inside, and he was the driver of the person. He came inside. Then suddenly something happened. He immediately came inside the house, and then turned and then locked the room from inside. Then this woman got frightened. Now, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? He said, I'm not going to do anything bad. I'm going to do something which is right. He said, what? Then he went on approaching her. And then she said, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? And then she said, if you want gold, I can give it to you. And she started removing her gold rings and earrings and all that chain, etc., etc. But this is not what I want. You keep the gold with yourself. I don't want. You shame me. I'm going to take your life. Saying that, he had a knife in his hand. He just stabbed her to death. This is what happened. And this boy, this friend of mine, whom I came, who came to know about the situation, went inside the house and saw his dead mother after postmortem. And then he said he was sitting in stoic silence. He accepted the situation as it was. He didn't say anything. And one of my other friends went to him and asked, hey, what happened to you? Are you all right? He said, I'm all right. He said, after a lot of silence, he said, I'm all right. So they could not decipher what this was, what this man was going through, because it was absolute silence and absolute stillness this guy was experiencing. And then he said, however, my mother has passed away. I have to accept it. If not, it's all God's will one day. I take it like that. If she has not died because somebody stabbed her to death, she would have been hit on the street or something like that. It is there written in her card, that in her future card, that she has to die, and she had to die this very bad way. I accept it. Now I have to move on. So then what he did was he moved. He started moving. He became very obese, because he was very obese when all these things happened. He immediately took charge of the situation. He took control of the situation, went and met the counselor, and she advised him a few things. And then he went out and started going to the gym regularly. Then he started running 1 kilometer a day, and it became 10 kilometers a day. And even today, as on date, he has been running 10 kilometers a day, and he is the CEO of a very, very big company today. Acceptance. Just what will happen to me? What will happen to me? Your life has to move on, because your wife is there, your child is there, your father is still alive, your mother has gone away. Well, what can you do about it? And whatever stabbing has happened. So accepting things as they are. I think it is not resisting reality, but accepting the fact. Eckhart Tolle says, whatever you accept will transform you. In corporate life, acceptance leads to a clearer decision. What will happen to me? They will sack me. They will fire me. So what? Now you are thinking from a different perspective altogether. I think this acceptance, let my job go. It's all right. So what the hell will happen to me? Am I going to die? Or somebody shames you. So what? It's about his perception of me. It's not me. If you accept things like that in that way and reframe the thing like that, under pressure, you take a rational decision and you will be able to fast forward your life. I've written a lot of 12 slides are there. I think you can go through this through YouTube when Mr. Shanmugam will upload the whole thing. I'll just go through it, because he said 1 hour and 15 minutes, 1 hour 15 minutes is over. What I'll do is I'll quickly run through this so that he has this put on the YouTube video, and then I'll be ready for this question and answer session. Problems you can face because of relationship and social, performance and behavior, spiritual and inner life, stress, work and career, studies and competition, relationships and family, internal self-created stress, lifestyle environment, healthy and uncertainty, stress is just caused by situations, but how the mind interprets. The most important thing is the mind has to interpret it in a proper way. That is where a prefrontal cortex comes into picture. And the more you resist, the more it will persist. And if you start reacting and if you stop reacting and if you start accepting and responding to situations, situations will definitely improve. I've done this also, responding to a toxic work culture and handling job termination, caring for a seriously ill spouse, parenting a troublesome teenager, coping with the death of a spouse. All those things are there. You can go through this YouTube video because time is short, so I can just put it on the YouTube video. Shanmugam will upload it, and after a while, I think you can see this YouTube video. Please give importance to stress because this is what is going to give you meaning to life, and this is what is going to give you purpose in life. And you can live life with a lot of peace if you're able to address stress, because stress is there to stay. It has come here to stay with us, and this stress will be there. And how you respond to it is what I think the essence of the whole thing. Dealing with the missed promotion. Antidote to stress are very important. Friends and meaningful connection, helping others and giving, rest and vacations, mindfulness and awareness, massage and body care, counseling when needed, reducing sugar cravings, avoiding smoking, reducing excessive caffeine, avoiding procrastination, living by values. Faith is a very important thing. Faith and spirituality, faith in yourself, faith in God, or faith in whatever you do, that's so important. Spirituality, getting connected to the deepest sense of yourself, family reunions, humor and laughter, creativity and play, pets and nature, color, light, music, and so on. Relaxation.
It's coming on top of this.
Relaxation practices, pranayama, meditation, tai chi, and mindful moments. And I'll just see there are 5 types of, there are 6 types of personalities. I'm sorry. Type A, sorry, there are 5 types of personalities: A, B, C, D, and F personalities. A type personality is those people who are absolutely high driven. They are extremely competitive. They want things to be happening. I want this yesterday. Like that, they will say. I want this moment or this minute. I want this. Like those people are all type A people, urgent, controlling. For them, high stress, burnout will happen, and they will be prone to a lot of heart problems and sugar problems. So for them, the resilience focus should be to slow down and to let go. Type B is a relaxed, it's okay. Chalta hai. Slow, relaxed, calm. But these people will not move up so well. They are balanced, everything, but they won't move to the higher accolades in the professional ladder. So this is one thing. And type C is also control, compliant, perfectionist, avoids conflicts, suppressed stress. They will suppress stress, but they are very reliable. They will express their emotions, everything. But this is not enough. Type D, they are distressed, inhibited, pessimistic, withdrawn, chronic internal stress. Type D is not good. Type F is understanding everything, type A, B, C, D, etc. And then this is the most important factor. You need to have a type F personality. Flexible, aware, adaptive, balanced, and where stress will dissolve quickly. Resilient. These are the factors. Resilient, aware, flexible, flow will happen automatically to these people. So type F is the type one has to be looking at. It's a combination of all the good things of A, B, C, and D. So this is what type of personality I will just briefly say. The core nature is adaptive, balanced, resilient. Key characteristics are emotionally aware, flexible under pressure, accepts change, responds rather than reacts, values meaning over control, stress pattern. Stress does not accumulate a lot with them. They recover quickly. Strengths are the high resilience, sustainable performance, inner calm. key skill is that awareness. They are aware of what's happening, just like, as I told you last time also, it's just like the camera on my laptop, they are aware what's happening like that. The camera on my laptop is what I think I mean by awareness here in this. So IQ can take you to the top, EQ will help you stay there, but AQ will be the one that will keep you there for a long time. This resilience, AQ is equal to resilience. Adversity does not defeat you. Your interpretation does. If you're able to check what is what by your interpretation, I think you make it in life, because IQ will take you to the top by passing this CAT examination or this GMAT or whatever, CLAT and things like that. EQ that is handling emotions, all those things are all very, very important. But EQ does not necessarily prove that it can take you to it can make you remain there. But whereas have a combination of intelligence, handling emotions, and then if you have the resilience, and taking care of your stress, I think will enable you to stay there in the top, and you will make a lot of people also rise up the ladder. Anyway, I will just close here because I wouldn't like to proceed any further because of lack of time. I would like you to ask me questions if there is, and then I'll try my best to answer it. And if I'm not able to answer, it's not the end of the world. You can go and ask somebody who is more, what should I say, more experienced in answering such questions, like your psychiatrist or your psychologist or your counseling person or your doctor. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Ramkumar. We are now open for Q&A session. Please unmute and have your questions asked and answered. Thank you. Participants, please unmute and ask your questions, please.
Yeah, this is some general question. See, because of some generation gap, behavior of our kids or these things also creating a lot of stress. Even though professionally we are not much stressed, looking for the next generation attitude is creating some sort of a stress. How to handle that one? Thank you.
Yeah, I'll come to the slide. I think you have the slide in front of you. Do you?
Yes.
Yeah. First of all, we should understand that there is a lot of difference between us and our children with respect to maturity, with respect to our expectations, what we had during our lifetimes, to what we can expect our child to do. See, I think what we should do is give them a good infrastructure and give them all the things, tools and tackles and everything, and allow them to fall and allow them to fail on their own and take it from there in that sense. We should not immediately go and we should not give a lot of things to the children. That is, they should understand that life is not so easy. It is not a cakewalk, and let them fail. And immediately we should not satisfy that, we should not gratify them. These are the important things what we should do. Give them proper infrastructure. The relationship between you and your wife has to be very, very nice. And then the children will grow on their own, and then they will become very responsible adults and responsible citizens of this country. And having said that, I'll just break up this one to understand behavior is communication, not rebellion. If they behave badly, it is their form of understanding things. So you have to stay calm and give autonomy. Don't give what you should do, what you should not do, all that stuff you should not be saying. Give autonomy to them. And you demonstrate your emotional regulation. Keep silent, and as long as they don't do anything majorly wrong, I think you should just allow them to be as they are. Your responsibility will just be to be a model. They should take you as a model person for them to emulate. You be the role model, and those people will start emulating their role model. This is what I have to say. Stay calm, listen, set boundaries. This is it. I think you would be able to do. To me, I have handled my son, my daughter. I have given them enough space. They have done very well in academics as well as in sports. My son has represented for the state. My daughter has played up to national level in table tennis. And so, what should I say? I have created a good infrastructure. It is for them to actually grow. It's not out of pride, I'm telling, but they have to do their thing on their own only. I've seen a lot of people who have been, what should I say? They will impose people to do what these people have not done. Supposing I have not become great, this thing, I'll enforce my child and then follow it up and then do this lot of nitpicking, all that stuff. I think we should not do. These are all the things we should not do. Giving them a good infrastructure is utmost important. This is all I can say. If you have any further questions, please ask me.
Yes, sir. I have one.
Thank you, sir.
Tell me, sir.
Yes, sir. So excellent perspective on how to approach life. And so one thing I would like to add in here, sir. So
Tell me,
you
sir.
spoke about awareness, because awareness is very, very, very much important, which some are blessed better than the others. So whatever knowledge you had shared to us, so for us to incorporate it, like we have to be like subconsciously aware, because if someone is unconsciously not following it, so we have to make it a habit, just like how we drive. We don't think and drive.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So
Absolutely,
that is
sir.
the challenge. That is what we have to incorporate. Yeah. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Yeah, it is just like a pornographic record. It will just impressions formed going on. You see, if you do one negative thing, you should counter it by doing 5 positive things. If you think
Great, sir. Yeah.
some negative thing, you should just reinforce your thinking to say 5 good things so that your negativity is rubbed off.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Thanks a lot, sir.
Welcome, sir.
Good morning, sir. Good afternoon, rather.
Good morning, Sanjana. Tell me.
Yes. Sir, thank you. First of all, thank you so very much for such an insightful session. It
Thank you.
was really wonderful listening to you, sir, and such an important topic in today's era. We all
Thank
are
you.
knowingly, unknowingly are affected by stress, willingly or
Absolutely.
unwillingly, we are affected. So you have touched a very important topic of our lives, sir, and given a very, what you say, very important and practical solutions to it for every problem. So my
Thank you.
question, so I have a small question which says that sometimes when are you working or when you are in the corporate world, there are some colleagues who are continuously concentrating on your failure than their own improvement, and you are not bothered about it. You continuously keep ignoring, and you are being focused about it, but that itself is a problem for others. How this person is not getting affected, how this person is having such a good mindset, let us disturb that. So such people also do exist, sir, in the same society, and we see them around. So somehow, sir, I would say I'm blessed with the awareness what you talked about. So I'm continuously aware unconsciously. I think it's a blessing from God that
Super.
naturally I was always aware, a little bit aware, I would say, not 100%. So I used to make efforts to stay away. Like I myself, I avoid being involved in any gossips. I don't say anything wrong about others. I do not watch any such kind of drama serials also. Of course I get entertained, But then these are the small things. I'd been doing it from a very long time, so now many years, I would say. So I'm able to keep my positive mindset intact up to a certain extent. But I have also seen that such kind of a negative people do exist, and they get jealous about your positive mindset, and they have done their whatever wrong deeds, whatever, to get rid of you, because you are kind of a obstacle for them. You're not fitting in that their what you say surrounding, where everybody thinks alike, about gossiping or about pulling someone down. And so is it normal, sir, or is it right to follow this kind of a path? Or sometimes you start questioning yourself, okay, no, 90% of the people are like that, you're not like that, so something is wrong with you only. So can you please, sir, guide me something on that, sir?
Extremely, I would say you have done it extremely well. See, supposing a healthy person goes and asks a few of his friends, you have cancer, you have this, you have that. Really go and ask those people and say, I am very healthy. I feel a little problematic. Can I have some disease, please? I don't know why I'm so healthy like that. It's like that for you. You're in a good space. You're in a very good space. Continue that. That's all. But if you find that there is a systemic problem in the office, in a corporate organization, then you should think of leaving the company. But not when that is your peers are asking you questions and telling or conveying to you that something negative about you and how you're handling your situation like that. I think you should just continue to ignore them and just continue to do your work. Your office pays you for your work and pays you for your talent, pays you for your time. You continue doing that instead of wasting time on these people. Let these people come and go, and let these people just talk whatever they want to talk. So be it. Right? I think we should not be carried away. You are doing a great job. I think you should continue doing that. See, one thing I will tell you: if things are going on well in your life, study the cause and sustain it. You're doing very well. Congratulations. Keep doing.
And we can also pray to God to bless such people.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You're right, sir.
No,
Yes, sir.
absolutely, sir. So forgiveness is something what I've learned over the period of time, and I would.
You are doing extremely well. What is your experience? How many years experience do you have?
So I'm teaching from last 21 years, sir.
Oh, fantastic.
I'm a college professor. I'm a college professor, sir, and currently I'm pursuing my PhD degree. It's been 2 years now. This year I'm planning to.
I wish you all the best, and let's hope you get your PhD in a quick span of time, and may you illuminate a lot of people remaining cool and connected. Very good. Congratulations.
Thank you so much, Kumar, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Welcome, Sanjana. Bye.
Participants, you may unmute and ask your questions, please.
Ramkumar, good afternoon. Excellent, Ramkumar, sir.
Hi, Chenny. Yes. Good afternoon. Thank you very much.
Excellent session, Ram.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Chenny.
Ramkumar can
Good
take
afternoon,
another.
Ramkumar.
Huh?
Ramkumar can take one more question. Can you please unmute and ask your questions, please?
Yeah, good afternoon, Ramkumar. This is Kandaswamy. How are you?
Fine, Kandasamy. I'm doing good. Thank you so much.
You made it very, very interesting as usual. And
Thank you.
I think we need to have one more session, fourth session.
Sure,
It will
sir.
keep on going on. Very, very, very interesting. Well, a lot of takeaways today in today's session. And
Thank you, sir.
congratulate you for you're doing a wonderful job. It's a yeoman service. You're parting with your knowledge and experience. So I wish you
Thank you,
all the
sir.
very One small doubt I have out of curiosity, I'm asking you. The figures, the percentage or figures, discrete figures, what you have arrived about the stress levels on losing a person or divorce, or you have mentioned in your chart. The figures, what you have arrived,
It's
experience,
not
or
mine.
is that
No. It's not mine. Oh my God, I don't know anything. I'm not a psychologist. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a psychiatrist. I'm not anything. I took it from a very, very old book. Very,
I
very
think it
old.
got hanged your side.
I'm sorry, I didn't get you, sir.
I think Ramkumar's thing got frozen. There was no voice, no video for some time.
Is it coming now?
It's okay now. Yeah.
Okay. Now, see, this is not mine. Okay. This is borrowed intelligence from a book, which is a very, very good book about dealing with emotions, dealing with stress in the workplace, social, family, and all that. It's a very, very old book. This is a figure that there are actually a number of data available in this book with respect to the stress scale. I've indicated about 18 or 19 like that, 18, 19. Now, this book has got, say, about 60, 70 items in that
Okay.
book. So this is not mine. But
Okay.
this will be approximate because it says the first important thing as far as the stress scale is concerned, death
Yeah.
of a spouse is the 100 out of 100 in the stress scale of 1 to 100. The other one
Okay.
comes to divorce, comes to 70. So things
Okay.
like that, I think we can just take it like that. So everything
Okay.
is stress. It depends who takes it. Supposing somebody can easily take stress of a magnitude of so much, and somebody will
Okay.
not be able to take a stress. It all depends. It all depends on an
Okay.
individual. It is a generic thing which somebody has given, and this can be taken as an approximation by all of
Yeah,
us.
approximation, or can it be termed as a relative term? Because
It
there
is
are
it.
some students, for example, in the NEET exam, the Anita girl who took the extreme step of committing suicide, and
Absolutely.
that became the highest level of stress. So another thing is like divorce. Sometimes the spouse, I mean, the girl or a lady who gets married and then get into a divorce situation, and later on she also takes the extreme step of committing suicide. That becomes the highest extreme level of stress. So again, it varies from situation to situation.
Absolutely, sir. Sir, as I told you, life
Yeah.
is 10% of what's happening to you and 90% of how you respond to it. I think
How you respond. That's
because everywhere, the problem comes from everywhere to everybody. Same question paper, you will be answering it differently. Same stress
exactly.
factor, same stress
Yeah.
factors. But you will be
Correct.
responding or reacting to certain situations, whereas another person with a high adversity quotient will just
Mhm.
poo-poo that thing and then just keep moving. Come on, yeah,
Right.
it's nothing for me.
Yeah.
He will just go. It all
Yeah.
depends. Even this Tiruppuram Kundram thing, no, that
Yeah. Yeah.
incident, somebody
The
committed
gentleman.
suicide because he was not able
Yeah.
to light the lamp. Can you beat
Yeah.
it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Can you beat it? What can one say about that? See,
He
it
went
depends
on.
on
Self-demolition.
exactly. It depends how you construe that. It depends on how hardy you are and how
Can
you
we relate
understand
it to
life.
the state of mind also? Can we relate it to the state of mind also?
It is state of mind only.
Yeah.
Happiness is state of mind. So is stress response, a stress reaction is a
Yeah.
mind factor only.
Mind factor.
It's a mind factor because everything is in the mind. The incident is happening
Exactly.
outside. Thiruparam Kundram is happening outside. Lighting the lamp
Yeah.
is outside. But what happens in between the 2 years is all what we are talking about. That is the
Yeah.
mind, that is the brain. And our brain is about 1 kg in weight. And the whale has the highest weight in terms of the brain weight. The elephant has got something also about 5, 6 kg weight of brain. But the number of prefrontal cortex cells is very high in our human beings. We need
Yeah.
to understand this prefrontal cortex is what everyone needs to work on, and everyone needs to
Yeah.
work on the vagus nerve, and everyone needs to be aware, everyone needs to be accept, everyone needs to be
Yeah.
resilient, everyone needs to
Yeah.
be able to address stress. I think and attachment. If you're attached to something, supposing you come by a railway train, say maybe
Yeah.
Delhi to Chennai by train. Supposing you take a
Yeah.
train because flights are not
Yeah.
available. Okay, you come by
Yeah.
train. You become very attached to this person and the person's son or daughter. Okay, and now
Yeah.
you can't be attached to that person. Correct. Same thing
Exactly.
only. You can't be attached to somebody who is your maid or your driver or your job or your boss or your employee or your etc. etc. Well,
Yeah.
life comes and goes because it is just like a wave. No, there are so many waves happening in the
Yeah.
beach and ocean. The waves
Yeah.
come and dance, and the wave. Every wave, something like that. Everybody comes into your life. And we
Yeah.
need to finally understand that we came in alone and we will be going out alone. That is something.
Yeah.
In between, we meet our wife, through us, children are born. And because of us, we go to some neighborhood. We have these people
Yeah.
as parents. There are so many things happening. Finally, you are alone. You are all alone by yourself. If you understand that, I think you've made it
Correct.
well in life.
Correct. Very right. Very right. Beautiful explanation. Thanks a lot, Ramkumar.
Thank
Once
you,
again,
Kandasamy. Thank
through
you, Ma.
another session. Thanks a lot. Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you so much, Ma. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Mr.
yes,
Ramkumar,
Ramkumar. Yeah, Kannan here.
Yes, Kannan.
Yeah, it's very good, very good. I was hearing your presentation. I thought of yes, learned many things from you. No questions. Just I thought of appreciate your effort and in sharing your knowledge with all of us.
Thank you, Mr. Kannan. Thank you so much. So kind of you.
Bye.
I think, Mr. Ramkumar, we can conclude with that
Sure.
high note. Thank
Yes.
you, Mr. Ramkumar, for an excellent session. I'm sure the participants found value and have enhanced their awareness of resilience to stress in their lives. Thank you once again.
Thank you, Shanmugam. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. Thank you, Shanmugam. Thank you, Gopi. Thank you, Sundarajan. And thank you, all the core team of this AABN. You've been doing a great job. Congratulations and keep it up. And may you touch the lives of so many people through people just like me and other people, because I told something today and a lot of people are imparting knowledge in so many areas, and you people are doing a great job. Congratulations and keep it up. All the best, and wishing you all a very, very happy new year, a very prosperous, happy 2026 to all of you.